Dame una sonrisa, risa, risa. Dame una sonrisa, risa, risa. Sonríele a la vida. Just remember, I'm recording a video in English. Just English, no Spanish. So let me. But Daddy Yankee is doing such a good job. Do you guys know that? Well, do you guys know who Daddy Yankee is? He's one of the best reggaetoneros in the world right now. In the world. And he came from where? Guess where he came from? Puerto Rico. Bad Bunny, Daddy Yankee. So who's Daddy Yankee? One of the best singers right now in the whole world. Very well known. And he is what is reggaetonero? Reggaetonero, my definition, and I don't know if the definition you're gonna find in the dictionary. Dictionary, look at me. If you Google it, is I think it's the Latin version of rap. Is that makes sense? Yeah, you Google it. Anyway, so he's doing a great job. He went from being just a world singer to a gospel singer. I understand he always believed in God. He was always a Christian, but now he's like full-time Christian and he's singing beautiful Christian music, reggaeton style. Okay, so, and I'm still happy about the halftime, but I'm not going to talk about that anymore. But I was talking to you about Panama, and the last time I say some things that you need to know before you go. Yeah. And they were not that, just things that you need to know. So you don't be surprised when you get there and you're like, okay, I can't deal with this. This is not the States. And that's the mistake número uno. Oh, you can learn Spanish with me too. Mistake número uno. Mistake number one. You should visit the country that you're thinking about moving to before you move to. Don't listen to what other people say, because I will tell you a bunch of things. Somebody else will tell you a bunch of things. Somebody else will tell you a bunch of things. No, you go and visit the country. Stay there for a little bit. Don't stay there for a week. I don't think in a week you can, get into what is the country all about. If you can stay for a month, 3 weeks, visit all the places, go to the beach, of course you want to go to the beach. Panama has to have some of the most beautiful beaches in the whole wide world, even with all those hotels and resorts that they build in. But Panama still have some wild beaches and white sand and coconut trees, and like the way it's supposed to. That's how every time I imagine a beautiful beach, that's how I imagine, Not that you have to pay for an umbrella so you can sit out on the sand. No, you sit under the shade of a palm tree. It's just, anyway. So the water's still clear. The Pacific side of Panama, we have the Atlantic and the Pacific. So we are so, so blessed. And on the Pacific side, the beaches are more, the waves are stronger and higher. And a lot of people from all over the world who surf go to Panama for surfing, because, we have beautiful beaches that with huge waves, and they go and spend a lot of time in Panama surfing. The Atlantic side, the water is calm. Then you can walk all the way like a few meters from the sand going in the water, and the water will be clear. You can see your feet. It's just a beautiful thing. So, and we still have some that you can do that. Some public beaches that, you can just enjoy. But my point is, do not move to Panama or any other country without visiting the country first. So I'm going to tell you some other things that I think you need to know. Not too many, because I don't want to make this video too long. But yeah, I'm going to tell you a few more things that you would like to know before you visit. And if you have any questions, I'll be more than glad to answer your questions. Just put it on the comment, and I will be more than glad to answer your questions. So, well, the first thing, like I said, visit the country before you move to Panama. The other thing is that if you're thinking about, flying to Panama just to, spend some vacation or move to Panama, whatever, always check the embassy, check the website. They will often update all the information that you need. So you will know what is going on before you go, what do you need, what the requirements are for sure. I can tell you very superficially because I'm from Panama, so some of the things that you have to do as an American moving to my country, I don't have to do. But one of the good things about Panama is that Americans don't need a visa to visit Panama. Isn't that cool? Americans and Canadians don't need visas to go to Panama. So, and you can stay, if you do get a visa, you can stay for 180 days. You just have to show that the passport is, won't expire in the next 3 months or something like that. And if you do get to retire or get anyway, if you, like I said, you need to have a valid passport. I have my notes here because I tend to forget some things. So you need to have make sure that your passport is valid for the next 3 months, and then you have a return ticket. Okay, so something that I'm going to tell you, that's another thing good about Panama, is that it's so easy to fly from the States to Panama. Even if you live from, let's say, DC, Maryland, Dallas, Virginia, Baltimore, that area, you can get most times you can get a direct flight. And guess how long it takes? From Miami, from Baltimore, sometimes 4.5, 5 hours straight. No stop from those areas to Panama. If you live from other places like, I'm not sure, sometimes it's just one stop. Something that I'm going to recommend is that you don't get one of those flights that last 10, 12, 15, 24. I even seen a 24 hours. Like, even with 1, 2 stop. No. It's not that far. It's not that far. So look for one that it's not that far. So look for one that is, it will take you 6, maybe 8 hours. And that's with one stop. Usually when I live from here, I stop either in Atlanta or Miami or what's the other place? Well, let's talk about Atlanta, Miami, and it's like 2 hours, 3 hours stop. And I recommend that you do that. Don't get those. Well, people who flies a lot knows what I'm talking about. Don't get those flies that you get there in an hour, and your next flight will be leaving in an hour, because you never know what can happen, especially with certain airlines that I'm not going to mention their names right now, but they are just terrible, terrible. But I might say it. I might say the name. Say my name. Say my name. But anyway, so, but yeah, don't take those long flights. There's no reason for that. Flights that you leave like today at 8 o'clock in the morning and you don't get to Panama until noon the following. No, 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 no. Look for a flight that is 6, 7, 8 hours. I would say the max, with 2 hours or 3 hours of stop somewhere, and it's easier and it's fast, and you don't have to make your life complicated. The other thing about flying to Panama is that you can buy tickets really cheap. Yeah. At times, like I had gotten tickets for 300, 350, 400, $500 round trip. Yep. Yeah. Of course, that if you flying during the holidays, in Christmas or during spring break, all the American holidays, the price is gonna go up, way up, you know. But normal time, any other off season, man, you can find cheap tickets. Just and of course, the longer the time, if you do it 2 3 months in advance, the cheaper you're gonna get it. And if you have a credit card that get points, use your points. The airlines let you use those points, or you can use those points in the hotel in Panama, and you can get hotels from cheap, cheap, cheap to very, very up there, of course. And if you get a cheap hotels, if you're gonna get a cheap overnight hotel, you will get what you pay for. But there's some very Panama have it's very popular for being very affordable. Okay, still affordable. Things are getting a little bit more expensive these days because a lot of people are moving to Panama, and the same thing that happened in Hawaii and other places. The more people come from the outside with means, the more expensive things get in the country. It is what it is. But we still welcome everybody. We still talk and laugh and dance and sing and welcome everybody. So Panama is a very welcoming country. So but I was telling you about the hotel. So yeah, you can find a little bit of everything. So yeah, go to Panama, look for affordable tickets. Don't book a flight for more than 8, 9 hours, and make sure that 2 or 3 of those hours you are just stopping somewhere to take another plane. How you call it, layover, whatever is it. So so let me tell you some of the good things about if you get to stay in Panama for longer. If you get a visa staying longer than 180 days, you can get what they call it a jubilado visa, and with that jubilado visa, you get your residence. You can stay in Panama, for a long time, and it's fantastic. The retirees have lots of benefits in Panama, so that's why a lot of people are retiring there. Housing in Panama, like I was telling you about the hotels and everything else. Well, before I go there, transportation. So when you get to the airport, you can get taxis that are from the airport, so they're safe to, to get into those taxis, Ubers or rideshare, or I don't know how they call it in Panama. They have a name, and they're very safe. They're very clean. People are very nice, and they're very cheap. They are not expensive at all. Public transportation is very good in Panama. We have a lot of good buses, and we have music in most of those buses. It's something very, very, a very Panamanian thing. They paint the buses, and they put music, they play music in the buses. So you're gonna enjoy. It's loud. We are loud, you know. So if you're gonna ride the bus, but the good thing is that from the airport you can go anywhere. You can get to anywhere you need to get using public transportation. I will not drive in Panama. I explained that on my last video. But you can, like I said, you can hire Uber, share ride. You can pull your luggage to the bus stop, which is right down the street from the airport, and catch a bus from there. Or the train. I mean, it's just so many easy ways to get around Panama. So you don't have to worry about, and it's affordable. I think some of the Uber are like $3, $4, and they take you, very far out. So, it's talking about $3 and $4. Another thing that I think you should do when you get to the country is get some cash, or get it from here. You don't wait until you get to Panama. Bring some cash with you. Even that we do accept credit cards, it's accepted everywhere. We have banks everywhere, ATMs everywhere. I would recommend that you bring some cash with you. So, if you have to do some shopping or paying some stuff, that's something minor, use your cash, because it's easier than trying to use your credit card, which is accepted. Visa, MasterCard, American Express, every card that you can mention is accepted in Panama, and you can use it everywhere. But, bring some cash. Just bring some cash in case you want to buy some crackers or something. I don't know. So, or you have to buy a tickets to get on the bus, or buy a ticket to get on the train. So it's easier, just bring some cash with you. You don't have to bring a lot, but bring some cash with you. So housing, if you decided, okay, I'm thinking about moving, how's the housing in Panama? You can find a little bit of everything, even that things are getting a little bit expensive in Panama. You can still find affordable housing, nice housing. You find things from prices from that range from $500 a month to $1,500, $2,000 a month, and they are very, very nice. 2, 3 bedrooms. We can put you in contact with some real estate people that we trust, and they will show you around. And like I say, it's you will be amazed how much you can get with your money. And also that you don't have to worry about doing any type of exchange, because Panama, we deal with the dollar. We have our currency, which is the Balboa, but it's 1-1, So you can use your money anywhere in Panama, and you'll be all right. You'll be all right. So, yeah, we have beautiful places, nice places, big places. We believe in big yards. So a lot of houses in Panama have a big yard, and We like to plant, and we like to plant things. We like to plant our vegetables and fruits and flowers and trees, and it's just nice. So you be okay. If you one of the things that for you to get a jubilado, a retiree paperwork in Panama is that you just have to prove that you have an income of $1,000 a month. That's it. I can go, I can break it down if you want me to, let me know. But yeah, just $1,000 a month, and you'll be able to stay in Panama as a retiree. So, okay, so housing is one thing that is affordable, and you can get a nice place, very nice place, and nothing compared that what you will get here in the States with the same amount of money. And don't compare. I'm just telling you so you have a point of reference, but don't compare because we're not the same. It's just a lot of different things that you know pros and cons about moving to Panama, and things that you're not going to find in Panama that you find here in the States and you're accustomed to in the States. So the other thing that I think you would love is the food. If you like, we have a we have a variety of food because we have a variety of people. You find a little bit of everything in Panama. Indian food, Greek food, any place in Latin America, food from Mexico, of course, that's the most popular one. But you also find food from El Salvador, food from Honduras, Haitian food. It's just amazing the amount of food. And you can eat in a very fancy place, and like you eating, you could go here in the States and eat in a fancy place. You can do the same thing in Panama, or you can find a little nice, restaurant with tables outside and a nice breeze and people walking around and talking and having fun and listening to music, and it's good food. It's good food. You can get a good breakfast in Panama for $5. Coffee, tortillas, some type of protein, meat, sausages, or hot dogs, whatever you want to call it, and orange juice. I mean, you can eat very well in Panama with very little, depending on what's your taste and what you're accustomed to and what you really willing to try. That's different. So we have all type of restaurants, so you are going to enjoy that. So in Panama we have two things, two seasons. We have the dry season and the rainy season. That's it. The dry season goes from December to April. Rainy season is, it's not good for the hair. It's not good because Panama is very humid, and it will rain anytime, at any moment, for any reason. Sometimes it's just a drizzle. Sometimes it rains like cats and dogs and machines and cucumbers and whatever. Like I mean, it can be heavy at times, but doesn't last all day. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it rains like the sky is coming down, but sometimes it stops like 5 minutes after. So it's not a good hair's weather. Panamanian weather is very humid, very, very humid. So, talking about humidity and rainy season, and, like I was telling you, we have oceans. We have the Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean. And Panamanians usually keep our doors open, windows open. We rarely use air condition. We have fans, because it can get hot, but for us, hot, it will be The weather can be between 75, 78 to 80, 80 something, sometimes, upper 80s. But we keep our doors open, and everything is so airy and fresh and nice. I think you will enjoy that probably. And the good thing about that is that if you really want that cooler weather, we have the mountains, you know, are what you call here the states, we call it provinces. So we have provinces with high mountains, and some retirees move to the mountains because they like that fresh air, that cool, all the type of weather. So, but so I'm gonna close with that. I might talk about a little bit more about the people and the job situation, and what does it takes to purchase housing in Panama. In my next video, but I think I'm gonna close with this. So if you really want to learn a little bit more, if you have any questions that I can answer, by all means, I go at least twice a year. I try to, because I still have family in Panama. So I can tell you a little bit more, and I will be completely honest with you. So we will talk more about Panama on the next video. Take care.